Alrighty, folks, we're now 4-0 in our last four chairman plays on my premium page. With the Yankees catching plus money yesterday on Thursday, and they got the job done for us in dramatic fashion. How about that slide at home plate? And the good news is I've got another chairman play going off here today for Friday. Also want to give a big shout out to all of my Gold Club members, because we're coming fresh off our third consecutive winning day on premium. And the only day you could have access to all those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my free pick video here today. For Friday, July 11th, 2025, happy Friday to you. Congratulations, the weekend is finally here. You made it. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. Now, folks, we're also hitting at 63% in our last 16 daily best plays, 3-0 in our last three underdog tier package picks. And finally, folks, once again, we are 4-0 in our last four chairman plays. And the good news is I've got plays going off in all of those packages here today. I also have plenty of free content on premium as well, and that includes my current overall win-loss record. Don't have to pay anything to access that. Just go to the post section and scroll down. I currently have over 2,600 members who are signed up and active on my premium page as of right now. And with that, we're going to go ahead and dive into some free content. Going to start off with the Guardians at the White Sox Game 1. That'll be a 3:10 Eastern first pitch, first of a doubleheader. Cleveland's minus 135, totals 9 runs. Logan Allen for the Guardians, Shane Smith for Chicago. Smith is just 3-7 on the year, really not getting a ton of run support out of the lineup. Chicago's averaging under 7.3 hits a game at the plate, bottom 3 in runs per game. And out of 23 divisional contests this season, Chicago's got a win percentage of just .260. And they're facing a Cleveland squad who's actually played well against divisional opponents themselves. 14-7 against the AL Central, 6-2 in their last 8 divisional road games. They're also coming fresh off a 3-game sweep of the Astros. Pitching's been pretty decent on the road here this year. The Guardians are in the top 10 in fewest runs allowed away from home. 6 out of Cleveland's last 10 ball games did fall under the total. Chicago games went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. I like the Guardians minus 135, under 9 in Game 1. Cubs, Yankees, 7:05 East. New York's $1.80, totals 9. Carlos Rodon for New York, Chris Flexen for Chicago. And definitely hope both starters ate their Wheaties, because they're facing two very intimidating lineups. Chicago's averaging nearly double-digit hits a game on the road. Meanwhile, the Yankees are a top 5 run-producing team. Aaron Judge with 78 RBI, OPS of 1192, currently leading the league in both of those categories. Jason Dominguez with an on-base percentage in the mid-300s, 14 stolen bases on the year. And they're going to have to outscore a Cubs lineup who has steadily produced runs throughout the year. Seiya Suzuki's 77 ribbies are highest in the National League. Matt Bush with an OPS of 934. When it comes to the total, the Yankees saw overs in their last 11 straight. Give me the over 9 runs. Marlins O's, 7:05 East. Baltimore's $1.30, totals 9. Dean Kremer for Baltimore. Edward Cabrera for Miami. Now, Eddie's averaging over a strikeout an inning, ERA of 3.33. But even if Eddie ends up struggling here today, the Marlins are one of the better road-hitting teams in baseball. 9.4 hits per 9 in their travels. And they're facing a Baltimore pitching staff who's definitely struggled at Camden Yards. They're allowing over 5.4 runs a game near the Inner Harbor, and Starting pitcher Dean Kremer comes into Friday's start with 7 losses on the year, ERA in the mid-4s. But even if Kremer ends up throwing well, this Baltimore lineup has certainly had their issues at the plate. They strike out a whole bunch, and they're actually in the bottom 10 in hits per game. I like the Marlins plus $1.10. Rockies, Reds, 7:10 Eastern start. Cincinnati's minus 235. Where's the game at? There it is. Cincinnati's minus 235. Totals 9 runs. Chase Burns for Cincinnati. German Marquez for Colorado. Now, Marquez is just 3-10 with an ERA close to 6. And as a staff, the Rockies are giving up almost 11 hits per 9. And they're facing a Cincy team who's had little problems with Colorado pitching in recent gatherings. Seems to be a theme amongst all teams in the league. But the Reds have actually averaged nearly 13 hits a game in their last 10 head-to-head meetings. And as far as this season's concerned, it's Elly De La Cruz who has 63 RBIs, 23 stolen bases, and TJ Friedl with an on-base percentage of .365. Now, 6 out of the Reds' last 10 gatherings with Colorado did get over the total. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. Meanwhile, 3 out of Colorado's last 4 road games got over the number themselves. I like the Reds minus minus 1.5 over 9. Mariners, Tigers, 7:10 Eastern start. Detroit's minus 225, total 7. Tarek Skubal for the Tigers, Luis Castillo for Seattle. And even though Castillo's had some pretty good stuff, he still recorded a handful of losses on the year, does not have a winning record coming into today's matchup. Of course, as a team, the Mariners are coming fresh off a 3-game sweep to the Yankees. They actually allowed 25 runs during that short span. They're facing a Tiger team who got the W in 5 out of their last 6 themselves. Top 10 in runs per game at home. Speaking of those home games, the Tigers are currently 32-15 at Comerica Park. Riley Green with 22 homers, 72 RBI. Gleyber Torres with an on-base percentage in the high 300s. When it comes to the total, Seattle's last 3 straight on the road did get over the number. 62% to the over in all of their contests when they bat first. I like the Tigers minus 1.5 over 7. Next game, Rays, Red Sox, 7:10 Eastern start. Both clubs are minus $1.10, pretty much a coin flip. Totals 9 runs. Hunter Dobbins for Boston, Drew Rasmussen for Tampa. Now, Tampa Bay's got a top 5 hit producing lineup. Also in the top 10 in runs per game on the road. Junior Caminero, 23 homers, 59 RBI. Jonathan Aranda on base percentage in the 400s. Meanwhile, the Red Sox on the other side, well, they've pounded the baseball at Fenway Park, averaging nearly double-digit hits a game in their own stadium. Now, total-wise, 5 out of the Bo Sox last 7 in Beantown got over the number, 8-2 to the over in their last 10 at any location. I like the over 9. Guardians, White Sox, Game 2, 8:10 Eastern first pitch. Cleveland's minus $1.35, totals 8.5. Gavin Williams for the Guardians, John Cannon for Chicago. Now, 6 out of the White Sox last 10 meetings with the Guardians did stay under the total. So once again, if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. They also went 8-2 to the under in their last 10 this season. Meanwhile, the Guardians on the other side, well, they saw unders in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. 62% of their road games stayed under the number this year as well. I like the under 8.5 in Game 2. Mets, Royals, 8:10 Eastern start. New York's $1.35, totals 9. Kodai Senga for the Mets, Michael Wacha for Kansas City. Now, Wacha's just 4-9 on the year, really not getting a ton of run support. The Royals are averaging under 3.1 runs a game this year, and they're facing a Mets pitching staff who is actually in the top 10 in strikeouts per game on the mound. And their starting pitcher, Kodai Senga, well, he's going to toe the rubber here today. 7-3 record, ERA of 1.47. Now, total-wise, New York's seen nearly 60% of their road games fall under the total, Royals with unders in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. I like the Mets minus 135, under 9. Pirates Twins 8:10 Eastern first pitch. Minnesota's $1.20, total 7. Joe Ryan for the Twins, Paul Skeens for Pittsburgh. And as dominant as Skeens has been, well, the Pirates just don't want to win for the guy. Skeens comes into today's contest with a 4-7 record on the year, and pretty much all of that is on the bats. Pittsburgh's averaging just 6.8 hits a game on the road, and they're facing a Minnesota pitching staff who actually walks fewer batters per game than any other team. They've shown excellent control with their location. Starting pitcher Joe Ryan's 8-4 with a .89 whip. But even if Ryan blows chunks, the Twins have seen the bats come alive a little bit over the past week or so. Byron Buxton with 20 homers, 53 RBI. Willie Castro with an on-base percentage in the mid-300s. The Twins should be able to take care of the Bucks bullpen if Skeens doesn't go the distance. You know, we're talking about a guy who almost has to pitch 9 innings for these guys to have any chance of winning. I like the Twins minus $1.20. All right, Rangers, Astros, 8:10 Eastern start. Houston's $1.25, totals 8.5. Lance McCullers for the Astros, Jack Leiter for Texas. Leiter's just 4-6 on the year. Rangers with a losing record in their travels. And in their divisional road games, the Rangers currently have just a .300 win percentage. And out of their last 10 gatherings with the Astros, well, Ranger bats have been held to just 3.1 runs a game. They've really struggled with Astros pitching. And of course, they're facing a Houston pitching staff here today who's been tough to hit against at home this year, averaging nearly 11 strikeouts a game in their own building, top 3 in fewest runs allowed. And despite a handful of shaky outings, starting pitcher Lance McCullers is still averaging over a strikeout an inning. Of course, as a team, the Stros got the W in 7 out of their last 9 divisional home games. When it comes to the total, Houston's seen nearly 60% of their contests in front of their own fans stay under the number, 7-3 to the under in their last 10 meetings with the Rangers. I like the Astros minus $1.25, under 8.5. Nationals, Brewers, 8:10 Eastern start. Milwaukee's $1.95, totals 8. Quinn Priester for Milwaukee, Mitchell Parker for Washington. Now Parker's just 5-9 with an ERA close to 5. And as a staff, the Nats are allowing nearly 5.4 runs a game. They're facing some Milwaukee bats who rank in the top 10 in runs per contest. Christian Yelich, 18 homers, 63 ribbies. Bryce Terang, on-base percentage of .351. 3 out of Washington's last 4 road games got over the total. 9-1 of the over in their last 10 at any location. I like the Brewers minus 1.5, over 8. Braves, Cardinals, 8:15 East. Atlanta's $1.20, totals 9. Grant Holmes for the Braves, Matt Liberatore for St. Louis. Now, Libby's got himself an ERA in the 3s, currently with a 1.18 whip. As a team, St. Louis plays their best baseball at Busch Stadium. They're currently 20-8 against National League opponents at home, and they're facing an Atlanta squad who's definitely struggled in their travels. Just a .347 win percentage as the away team, bottom 10 in hits per game on the road. When it comes to the total, both organizations with unders in 6 out of their last 10 respectively. I like the Cardinals plus $1, under 9. Diamondbacks, Angels, 9:38 East. Arizona's $1.30, totals 9. Ryan Nelson for the Diamondbacks. Tyler Anderson for Los Angeles. Now, the Angels do have a winning record against National League competition. They've actually done a nice job with Arizona pitching recently as well. They're averaging over 5.1 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with the D-backs. And as far as this year's concerned, Taylor Ward, 21 homers, 63 ribbies. Zach Neto with an on-base percentage in the 300s. Neto currently has stolen 16 bases. As good a starting pitcher Ryan Nelson's been for Arizona, the D-backs as a team did take the loss in 6 out of their last 9 games. They are struggling a bit on the mound away from home. The Diamondbacks are in the bottom 10 in runs allowed in their travels. Now, 6 out of the D-backs' last 10 ball games did get over the total. Angels with overs in their last 4 straight at home. I like the Angels plus $1.10, over 9. Phillies, Padres, 940 East. Philadelphia's $1.55, totals 8.5. Ranger Suarez for the Phils. Ryan Bergert for San Diego. And even though Bergert's thrown well, he may not get the run support he needs to get the W. San Diego's a bottom 10 run scoring team, 7.9 hits a game at Petco Park. They're going to face a 7-2 Ranger Suarez, ERA of 1.99, currently has a 1.03 whip. And as a staff, the Phils are allowing just 3.3 runs a game on the road. They've been really tough to hit against when they travel, currently in the top 3 in strikeouts per game. Now, 3 out of the Phils' last 4 road games did fall under the total, 7-3 to the under in their last 10 at either location. 6 out of the Padres' last 10 stayed under the total themselves. I like the Phillies minus 155, under 8.5. Blue Jays, Athletics, 10:05 Eastern start. Toronto's minus $1.45, totals 10. Max Scherzer for the Jays, Luis Severino for the A's. And Severino's definitely having a real rough year. 2-10 record, ERA of 5.30. And as a staff, the A's pitchers have pretty much suffered at Sutter Health Park. They're allowing nearly 6.2 runs a game on their own field. And they're facing a selective Blue Jay lineup of hitters. They're actually striking out fewer times a game than any other clubhouse. No real surprise, they're in the top 10 in walks per game on the road. Vlad Guerrero, on-base percentage in the high 300s. George Springer's the club leader in homers and ribbies. 4 out of the A's last 6 at home got over the total. 7-3 to the over in their last 10 at any location. I like the Blue Jays minus 145, over 10. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Dodgers, Giants, 10:15 East. San Francisco's $1.25, total 7.5. Logan Webb for San Francisco. Dustin May for Los Angeles. Now, May with a handful of wins on the year, backed by a very good lineup of hitters. The Dodgers are currently a top 5 hit-producing team. Shohei Ohtani, 31 homers, 58 ribbies, OPS nearly in the thousands. And Andy Pages has 58 ribbies on the year himself, tied for the club lead with Shohei in runs batted in. And they're going to face a Giants club on the other side who's definitely struggled in divisional play. San Francisco has a losing record against NL West opponents. And out of their last 10 gatherings with the Dodgers, well, they've had a tough time getting outs. The Dodgers averaged nearly 6 runs a game during that time frame. Now, total-wise, no real surprise here. 8 out of the Dodgers' last 10 meetings with San Francisco got over the number. Giants with overs in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. Give me Los Angeles plus 105, over 7.5. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. I like the Guardians minus 135, under 9 in Game 1. Give me the over 9 in that Cubs-Yankees matchup. We're 4-0 in our last 4 chairman plays on my premium page. Marlins plus $1.10. Cincinnati minus 1.5, over 9. Tigers minus 1.5, over 7. Over 9, Tampa Bay, Boston. Under 8.5, Guardians, White Sox, Game 2. New York Mets minus 135, under 9. Twins minus $1.20. Astros minus $1.25, under 8.5. Brewers minus 1.5, over 8. Cardinals plus $1, under 9. Angels plus $1.10, over 9 runs. Phillies minus 155, under 8.5. Blue Jays minus 145, over 10. And give me the Dodgers plus 105, over 7.5. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. That's why I always tell folks, That Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.